Hey, folks, welcome to InTheMoneyStocks.com's live trading action video. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. Today's date is Tuesday, October 27th, 2015. Well, right now the markets are down slightly, folks. This is basically profit taking like we saw yesterday. Yesterday was a small down day as well. And again, think of it like this. Markets have had this meteoric run, right? If we zoom out on the chart, I mean, you can just see going back here. Look at the size of this move to the upside. Epic. The markets have this meteoric run into Apple earnings after the close today and into the Federal Reserve FOMC statement tomorrow. So it kind of makes sense that you're seeing a little bit of profit taking. Smart money saying, I've made a ton, now it's time to step back, and that's creating a small downside move on the market. Not much, mind you, just a small move. Now, after we get Apple earnings, Apple will primarily affect the NASDAQ, but will also have a play on the S&P, and then really tomorrow at 2 p.m., that Federal Reserve announcement should sway the markets dramatically one way or the other. Okay, a couple things to go over. Take a look at Apple. Apple on an intraday basis is chopping. Yesterday you had that big down move. The reason why Apple sold off yesterday was because a chip company in Europe ended up warning. Now, why is that significant? Why does that have any relation to Apple? The answer is very simple. Because they supply Apple with 80% or 80% of the chip company's sales are to Apple. So if this chip company is warning, the thought process is maybe Apple is not running as fast as it could be or should be. You see what I'm saying? So we saw Apple take a little bit of a hit there, although a lot of people are discounting. You can see today it's been a pretty choppy trade, intraday, up initially, then down. We're actually at the lows of the day here on Apple. This is going to be a choppy trade into the end of the day as people are positioning themselves for earnings. There's no doubt about it, folks. Do I have any inkling about which direction Apple's going to go? Honestly, no. If we go to the daily chart, it's been a wild trade recently from all the way down around $93. Just a few months prior, you were up at 130 plus, and now you're trading around 115. It's funny because actually you're almost equidistant between this low and the current price versus the current price and this high. So again, there's no price pattern time proprietary signals here that are giving me a solid bias one way or the other. It's more of a neutral going to earnings, and what happens, happens. A couple other stocks that I'm keeping an eye on. We are seeing McDonald's here pull back a little bit. McDonald's put in a topping tail yesterday, guys. So a topping tail on McDonald's after this meteoric run. That is a sell signal. Today, look at McDonald's. It is down about 0.6%. So again, I would generally look, if you have to have a view on McDonald's off of a topping tail off an extended move, you should have a negative bias on McDonald's. Another stock I actually like to the long side is Save. Spirit Airlines, please notice here, stock is extremely oversold over the last couple months. In addition, notice the volume the last 3 days on heavy volume 3-bar surge. 1, 2, 3. Heavy volume, right? Today will actually be the biggest candle. It's equal to yesterday and the day before, but today is obviously, we still got another 3 hours and 30 minutes left in the trading day. So with more time left, this will be the biggest day. It ends on a 3-bar surge. I expect a bounce in this range on Save on Spirit Airlines. The bounce potentially would take you back to, I think in general, you short term, you're kind of looking for about a 46 move, maybe as high as around $50 over the next few months. Okay, very, very short term if you're talking about just a bounce over the next few days. I think upside potential takes you back maybe to about $37 to $40, somewhere in that vicinity. Very nice move either way. But again, if you have a little longer term outlook, you probably see a little bit more. One stock that is also pulling back off dramatic highs, take a look at this. This has just been an epic move on Starbucks. Starbucks today finally putting in a little bit of a down move. Notice again how extended it is. There's so many charts like this. I mean, I could go to DuPont, right? Nope, that's 3D. DD is just DuPont. Look at this move to the upside on DuPont. Alibaba. Look at this move on Alibaba. And by the way, what a reversal on Alibaba today, guys. Piercing the 200. There's definitively a top here on Alibaba being put in. Now you look for the bear flag and probably falls. I actually think Alibaba is going to fall all the way back to about $70 over the next couple of weeks. But, you can look at 3M. 3M's another big one. Look at the move up on these things. So they've had epic runs. And this is all in the counter short-term trend on the market, right? We bounced back up after some significant losses. We haven't taken out the all-time highs, so you have to think that, again, this is still an inside bar move, so there is downside coming. Another stock that's very extended, Facebook. Look at this, guys. Unbelievable move on Facebook today. or I shouldn't say today, just over the past, month or so, just from here. And again, if you zoom out on the chart, I mean, this has just been a one-way ticket. Pierced the even number of 100, which to me is telling me it's getting a little overbought. Doesn't mean it can't go a little bit higher, but ultimately I would start to favor the downside on these. So it looks to me like a lot of stocks are topping out and are pulling back, like a McDonald's, like a Starbucks, or are in the process of putting in that high for a pullback, like a Facebook or some of these other ones. A lot is going to be based off of what Apple says and what the Fed says tomorrow. I mean, when it comes down to it, Apple is such a big company that it literally has a huge weighting in the Nasdaq 100 as well as in the S&P 500. So you will see the market sway one way or the other on Apple. If Apple's up like Amazon and Microsoft and Google, then markets will be up tomorrow going into the Fed. If not, and if it's the opposite, you will see the markets down pretty sharply going into the Fed. All right? Do I think the Fed is going to raise interest rates? No. No. We got durable goods orders today. It's not good enough. There's no way the Fed's moving on interest rates until the new year at this stage of the game. But I do think, if we kind of hold here into the new year, they probably do it in early 2016. And more so not because they should, but more because they feel like they have to kind of get off the zero mark at this point in time. All right, guys, come join us at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Let's make some money. That's what we're doing every single day. We got some nice put plays paying us off. I picked up puts on McDonald's yesterday. Picked up Qualcomm puts a couple days ago. Those are paying us off really nicely, and looking for more opportunities here in the coming days. So be ready, guys. Let's make some money. Come join us at InTheMoneyStocks.com.